Well, good day, and I love you. I am rising in this new day. I am still in my jammies and in my bed, and I want to share some love with you. I want to share something that I have been processing and learning today that I think will be good for you. Good, happy, healthy, and enriching. So, today I am reminded that the most powerful thing in our humanity is our energy and our ability to connect to ourself, our source, and our surroundings. In the past few weeks, I have been invited to speak at different places. And it just occurred to me last week that every single one of these humans who has introduced me to speak at these different events has said the same thing. And not a one has talked to the other and got on the same page. So this is the standard introduction for Heather. Nothing like that. These people are all separate from each other. These events are all separate from each other. And each and every time someone has introduced me to speak, they have said, when I heard this woman speak before, I felt it. And since it's been every single person that's introduced me, it flagged my radar. And it started me thinking. It started me thinking that I have been told these same words over time for years now in different ways. I started studying the way I interacted and affected those around me consciously in around 2013. I started thinking about how I had stopped traffic in several major cities. And before I just thought it's because I'm an attractive woman. I'm an attractive woman, I have an attractive body. That's what happens. You see a hot chick on the corner, you slow down, you create a gawker's block, you look, right? But then I went back on my past and I started to realize that all of these times that this had happened, I wasn't necessarily standing on a street corner, unobscured, visible to the regular public that would have created this effect. That's not what happened. Sometimes I was like, you know, off the beaten path or around the corner, or sometimes I would come into the back of a room and the room would pay attention. So I started to learn about my energy. I started to learn about the human's energy. I started to learn about the fact that we are electromagnetic, bioconductive creatures, and that each of us creates a field around us, a bubble around us, approximately 2 meters in nature, depending on our conductivity, depending on our personal vibration. And that field goes everywhere with us and interacts with the field of every living thing around us. Phenomenal, right? And so I started to play with this since I understood that I could stand in front of people and elicit a certain reaction more often than not. How did this energy really work? How did this reaction really work? Is it just about how I look? Is it about my face? Is it about my body? Is it about my voice? So I started to go different places and obscure my physical body. Like I'd wear a hoodie and cover my face and see if I could create the same response going into a room, going into a place, right? And I found that I could. I found that I could focus this response anywhere I went on all living things. I played with humans, I played with animals, I played with the planet. And I started to learn more about my interaction with everything around me. And so what I learned is I have a very conductive field. I have a high vibration in my own physical and spiritual body, which increases the conductivity in my electromagnetic field, and it can be felt by those around me. And you experience this all the time. You might sit next to someone and you're like, that person gave me a bad vibe. I'm not even sure why. Their field was yucky. Their field had yucky stuff in it. You might sit next to a person and be like, wow, just sitting in that person's presence calmed me down. She didn't even say anything to me. Just being in that room with her helped me breathe, right? She had a very balancing field and you were able to feel it. And so for me, I have become aware that when I am in a particularly conductive space, I am able to share that conductivity with that which is around me. So if I balance my energy and tune in to all that is, I am able to let those around me feel what I feel. I can channel the energy which I connect to through my voice, through my being, through my behavior, and those who are around me can feel it. Pretty stinking cool, huh? The reason I'm sharing this today is I am not unique in my ability. We are all able to do this. We are all able to do this. It is the future of the human. We are becoming aware of our own energy, its influence, and interaction with it and that around us. So today what I wanted to share is when I've been sharing at these events, when I talk at these meetings and these conferences and these gatherings, I will go ahead and say many of the older men at these things are intrigued by the fact that they're feeling something in this exchange, something that they may not have been privy to before. And they are aware that they are feeling something different in this exchange. And so I have had the opportunity recently to speak with a great deal of these men after these gatherings. And I can feel that they're feeling, even though they might not have the exact words to articulate what's going on, I can feel that they are feeling and that they are intrigued and possibly, for lack of a better word, a little weirded out by the feelings, right? And so I straight up talked to them about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a whole lot going on inside there, isn't it? That's a whole lot of feeling. And then I've been explaining to them recently that this is an opportunity to meet the female aspect of themselves. And most of them look at me like, huh? And so I say to them, you are equal parts male as female, right? You have a sacred masculine aspect and a divine feminine aspect. The thinking and the doing, the getting things in order, all that cerebral stuff, male aspect of self. The connection, the feeling, the body, female aspect of self. Ideally, we want to marry them both. We want to marry the male part with the female part of self for ideal happiness, health, and harmony, right? And so I say to them, this is an opportunity to start listening to those feelings, to start connecting with those feelings, and you will create a greater relationship with yourself, with your source, and with your surroundings. And this is new to them, totally foreign, a little bit scary, and I think that they often feel like there's no guidelines here. I feel like there's no guidelines here. I've never engaged in this process like this before with humans like this before. I was not taught this kind of feeling, interactive, connective life. Quite the contrary. I was taught like they were taught, to tune out your emotions and to tune out your feelings. And the more effectively you can tune them out, the more effective a human you are. And that mess doesn't work at all. So, in the last few weeks, I have started drawing a goddess card and sending a card one day a week to many of these men. And it's so cute. I send one of these cards and I say, I know you're a man. I know the card's a woman. I know it's a goddess card. But I just think that at this point in life, all of we humans could use a little more help and a little more love and a little more balance from the feminine aspect of all that is. And then I again remind them that they are part male and part woman, and that this influence can just help them love on themselves a little bit, right? And so it's cute. When I first sent out the cards, it was kind of like crickets, kind of quiet. So then I send another text that says, thanks for letting me share, and please let me know if the card resonates. And then I'll get a text that says, it's really weird how much that card described how I'm feeling or how it's going on with me. And then I'll say, well, what lovely synchronicity. Did you want to talk about that at all? And it opens the door for these men to, number one, acknowledge that they are a feeling creature, that they are human. Number two, whoa, I have these feelings and this stuff going on with me, and I have an opportunity to pay attention and connect with it. And number three, I'm not the only one that feels like this. This might be the way it works. And so this beautiful interaction and exchange is giving all of us the opportunity to play in our humanity a little bit more than before. and it is divine and right on time. So today I'm going to draw a card for you, and I'm going to remind you that your ability to feel is the thing that makes you powerful, human, beautiful, strong, connected, and divine. It is literally the one thing that separates us from the animal kingdom, our ability to feel in this way, our ability to connect, our ability to pay attention and focus to our energy, our consciousness. So instead of trying to shut it down, it might be time to cultivate it. Persephone, inexperience, number 42. 4 and 2 put together makes 6. And 6 is about a spiritual circle of synchronicity. It's all coming together. Some balance. 6 comes after 5, which is chaos and change. This says sometimes not knowing is a great gift. Right now, the Greek goddess Persephone invites you into a state of open-hearted learning. Discernment comes with experience, and at this moment, it's okay to admit you don't know or fully understand what's in front of you. Be curious and teachable. The goddess Persephone will be with you to ensure you will not fall prey to unconscious commitments and dangerous alliances, just as her own naivete caused her to strike a terrible deal with the god of the underworld. That said, every experience has value. No matter what choice you make right now, the consequences will have a lasting effect as you integrate your lessons and travel the road of destiny. So it sounds like it's okay to show up today and do the do. Because remember that there's no bad choices on the road of life. There are choices that we may decide not to make again, and those that we decide to repeat because they were beneficial. But all of it is simply useful information on this path as we move forward. There's nothing that ever makes it so you can't move forward anymore or you did too bad of a job. Nope. It's just life. Some of it you might want to repeat and some of it you might want to revise. Thank you for being here today. I am super excited about this time in life where we get to connect more with our feelings, more with ourselves, more with our source, and more with our surroundings. I'm grateful to be here with you. I love you. I love you. I love you.